to arrive at 30 Rockefeller Plaza when I arrived at 4:35, it belied New York City's reputation as the city that never sleeps. The only people awake were Harlem garbage. Barbara Walters tells a funny story about the streetwalkers, seeing her getting picked up in a Cadillac every morning, thinking she's doing pretty good. If there were streetwalkers, I wouldn't recognize them. Maybe I just didn't notice. I saw the garbage trucks. We'd get blocked. People picking up garbage. That's who was on the street. You walk in 30 Rock, no one there. No security guards, nobody. Maybe a floor polisher, maybe quiet. Maybe that's the only sound you hear. You take the elevator up. The beehive of activity. No, if they're sleeping. Gloria the coffee lady passing out donuts. People spoke quietly. It was dark, it was slow, it was quiet. And the program, which, even as I arrived, there was still a school of thought that it wasn't the Today Show. In fact, the name of the program is Today. You call it the Today Show. The name of the program is Today. But as I arrived, there was still kind of a highfalutin idea that we were not a show, we were a program. Like the BBC would have a program. The Today Show was a program. And, we would have, instead of, concerts and, rock concerts, we would have chamber music. Poets would be booked. The authors of great literature, maybe not necessarily bestsellers. On a trip to England, I interview Sir Lawrence Gielgud. Do I say his name right? Gielgud. Lawrence?
John.
John Gielgud. I'm thinking Laurence Olivier. So I'm interviewing John Gielgud, who couldn't have been nicer, but a sir. It was, and an interview might last. A short one was 5 minutes. It wasn't unusual to have a 9-minute interview. I once interviewed a woman, and at the beginning of the interview, I sort of detected the light went out, that she was just stage fright had just paralyzed her, and there was no one there. And I didn't know when she was going to come back, and I knew I had about 9 minutes to fill. So I ask questions with context and background and historical references and something kind of while I'm waiting for her to come out of it. And finally she did, but we would do long interviews. Today, the Today Show is like, riding a bicycle on the FDR Drive. It's high, it is, so fast, so good. But the stamina it takes. When I did the Today Show, we needed a lot of coffee, but it wasn't for, for stamina. It was to stay awake. They tell a story. Hugh Downs says it is totally apocryphal that he was interviewing Eleanor Roosevelt and fell asleep. And he said no, he did not fall asleep. He was just resting his eyes. But the tempo of the program was just, it was very, very, very different.